left join, right join, and full join. But in real-world databases, information is usually stored across multiple tables. So today we will learn how to join three tables together to retrieve more meaningful information. Okay. So first of all, we need to do our casual things like this. And then let's start our first query, that is show tables, because we want to know how many tables we have. So here we have marks, scales, student info, and students. So I already created student info. So I'm going to drop that table because I want to show you how to create it and how we do that step. Okay. But I want you to be much clear that if you use this, the table will be permanently deleted. Okay. So here I'm using drop table student info. Okay. But if I do this, the student info table will be permanently deleted. Okay. And I done that. And now let's show tables. Now the student info table is not in our show tables. Okay. So we are going to create our student info. Before that, I want to show you the existing tables described version. That is through select staff from students. And here the table contains basic information such as student ID, name, age, and city. Then let's select staff from marks. So the student ID is in both the tables. Okay. And now we are going to create another table. So in our select students table, we have student informations including student ID, and in the marks table, it contains the information about the store. It stores information about the subject scores for students. Also, notice that both tables shares the same column called student ID. Okay. So to get another, so we need another table which also contains the students column. Okay. So we want to create a table. Create table. Here I add student info, and then let's add what are the informations we gonna add. We will have a student ID column which is integer, then phone number which is text, then date of birth which is date. So now we give its data type and the column name. Okay. So this table stores extra details about students such as their phone number and date of birth. Okay. And run. Now we created the table and its column names and data types. Now we need to insert the information into this table. So to insert information, we use insert into and then the table name, that is student info, then add values. Afterwards, we need to add some values. First, the student ID. The number can be 1, 2, 3. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then let's add the date of birth, which is 2001 07 02. Okay. And the first information is complete. The next is for 2, add a number. And then the date of birth can be 2009 11 27. And let's add another value which is student ID 3 contains. So here we need to make sure that the phone number is text. So we need to add quotes in the phone number place. Okay. And then the third one also we need to add with the quotes. Then add the date of birth, which can be 2007 07 07. Okay. So now we added informations and let's do it. Okay. So here we got a error because of that it happened. So just use control plus C. It will be terminator. Then call the ductdb and in the arrow, which is the arrow to above, it can upper arrow can be used like this and recognize the error. You can find a error if there is one. Okay, and so we found out the error. The error was because of the missing codes here. So if we didn't use the codes here, the code will treat it as minus subtraction. Because of that, we use codes in the date format also. Then run. So while we added codes, we just removed the 11 place. Okay. So we inserted the values. Let's select staff from student info. So here you can see the student info table. Okay. So we have values with 3 student ID columns. Everything in the both all 3 tables, students, student info and marks. Now we are going to join it. Okay. So each row connect to a student using student ID column. That's how we connect. Okay. So let's use join. You know, join works by default as inner join. And let's do it. Select student.name and then let's add marks.subject, marks.score, then from students, let's join marks on students.student ID equals marks.student ID. Okay. So this query combines students' name with their subject scores. Okay. The matching information will be given. Now we are going to add our third table to this. Okay. We are going to extend the query. This is by the same way, but we will add some more information to that. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Select students.name, comma. Let's also add student ID, comma, students.name, comma, marks.subject, marks.score, then student info dot phone number. Then let's add student info dot date of birth, and then we are taking it from students. From students table, and then we are joining it with marks on student dot student ID equals to marks dot student ID join on join. We can add the other column name, that is student info, and afterwards on student dot student dot student ID, then that is equal to student info dot student ID. Okay, and then we run. Let's run it. So here you found that a reference table student not found here. So while you're doing with larger queries, we may have such situations. So that's nothing to worry about. Just find it and correct that. Okay, as students and then run. Okay, so here we are joining three tables together. First, we connect students with the marks table using student ID. Then we connect students with student info using the same column. Okay, so you understand that we done the same thing, but we added another table to it by repeating the same query. Okay, only changing the name of the column. Name of the table. Okay, so first we connect the students table with marks using the common column student ID. Then we connect students with student info using the same column. And here we are. So we got Arun, Meera, Rahul, and then Arun. And their phone numbers, date of birth, score, all this. Okay. So when joining multiple tables, each join must have its own on. Like it should have its own. Each join has its own on. Okay. So on should be necessary for each of the join we use in this. And this on condition that defines how the table are connected. Okay. So how is it connected? First, the students table connect with marks table. Then the students table itself connect with the student info. That's how we reconnect three tables. Maybe you may heard about equilibrium state. Okay, that's A equal to B, then B equal to C, then A equal to C. Maybe you may know that. I'm not just confusing you, but I just correlate things. Okay. So in this lesson, we learned how to join three tables together using inner join. This is a common technique used in real world data analysis where information is spread across multiple tables. Okay. So I hope it is clear. In the next lesson, we will explore self join, where a table joins with itself to analyze hierarchical relations. Okay. Before ending the session, we are providing quiz with this. So if you missed that, you may not understand how much you get to know all this query. So the quiz is based on today's lesson. So if you have time, just go through that, understand each query, and the explanation is also already given under that. So that's it. That's all for today. Also, we are doing a Sunday special SQL currently. So we are starting it from the next or coming Sunday. So then we will discuss more about SQL interview questions and SQL question that may asked in exams. Okay, such kind of questions. So stay tuned and keep watching. Bye bye.